And I'm sure that your very concise and very informative advice and career advice will benefit a lot of our students and faculty here on site, and also our remote viewers from web-based. We also simultaneously webcasted this presentation on the web as well, and we also archive it on our website. Okay, so at this time I want to take time to acknowledge we have a couple of students. One drove in from northern Texas for 10 hours coming here. He's on. Exactly. Yeah, drove 10 hours here to attend this session. And we also have a couple of students with special needs, such as Melissa Resnick, with a lot of informatics experience. She's visually impaired, but she's got a very strong interest, and she's enrolled in our PhD program here and looking for career guidance and opportunity as well. Great. And well, next up we have Dr. Julie Brixey. She's graduate of 2006. She's going to help us understand more about the academic career path and her personal experience with informatics. Please join me and welcome her. Talk.
So this is an amazing turnout, and thank you everyone for coming. And I feel honored to be among this distinguished group of graduates from the school. I came to informatics, and I was in the class of 1998, so I was one of the first students to the program. I was completing a degree over at School of Public Health, so I was completing the MPH, and at that time I was looking at, can you use an administrative database to predict cost and for the hypertensive patient? So when I came to the school, it was brand new. It was like, well, what's this all about? I'm always looking for what's the new thing, what was cutting edge, and thought I would do something with databases. Well, I was incredibly interested with the databases, but then I started working with Dr. Jiaxi Zhang, Todd Johnson, and Jim Turley, that they were funded with patient safety grants at that time, and that fit with my background as a nurse administrator. I'd been working in nursing management, and I'd been that nurse, that supervisor going, you know, you wouldn't have made that error if you'd just been safer. Well, I became enlightened through my studies here and became a much better clinician and became a much better supervisor, but continued my studies along the way and completed the PhD in 2006. Well, you know, it would have been great to stay here because my home was here. My husband was employed here, but I flew the coop. I took a job in Kansas City, and so we had a commuter marriage for about 3 years. So between 2006 and 2010, I worked at University of Kansas School of Nursing and taught nursing and informatics. So the program was tailored primarily to nurses, but as I taught there, our program expanded and became more interdisciplinary. Well, while I was still teaching, I kept a clinical practice, so I was a nurse at the bedside too. So I was one of those end users. Now, when I would be hired at a hospital, they'd go, great, we love you because you're that informatics person, and we want to hear about your experience with the electronic record. Well, my experience is, no, they really didn't want to hear from me because I'm going, well, why can't the record do this? I wanted to do that. What they really wanted was the nurse to document, get her work in, and be finished at the end of the day. So I understand the frustration of being a user. I understand the value of electronic documentation. In 2010, this school was fortunate to be awarded ONC funding through the PureHit grant to educate a workforce to do the implementation and selection of electronic records. And Jim Turley let me know that a position was open, so I returned to Houston, and now I have a faculty job and continue to teach. I'm primarily responsible for the students in the HIT program, so that's the Applied Masters in Health Informatics. It has been extremely successful. We have 40 students in the program, and we graduated 4 students, our first graduates, in December 2011. You have to remember, these students completed the master's degree in 1 year. So they had 2 semesters of 13 hours each, and then another semester of 10 hours. It's amazing that people, that they were, still standing at the end of that time. The program's taught entirely online. So we use a lot of innovative technologies to reach out to our students, create a sense of presence, a sense of community for informatics students, because when you're at a distance, you can feel very isolated, very alone. So while sometimes there's a little discussion about why are we doing all of these team projects, the rationale is to create a sense of community. Also, from the educational side, we see that there's a lot of teaching that goes on by the students too in those groups as you work on the projects, that the quality of the projects are just amazing. And so we really appreciate our students. So this week we have 3 more students completing their Masters in Informatics from the Applied program, and we congratulate you. And we have Pamela's here, she graduates. And then we have 3 of our current students, they're on the back row, and they were so gracious as to come in to present their poster in real life rather than in Second Life. So from the education side, it's creating the enthusiasm, giving you the knowledge, the skills to go forward and work for your wonderful employers. And it's for the educational side to partner too with employers so that we do help educate, train, to give our students the skills, the knowledge to go forward and be successful in the workplace. So that's been my adventure in health informatics. I can't think of a more exciting career to have.
Thank you, Dr. Brixey. We're glad and so proud of you taking our education from our school here to provide the educational service above and beyond Texas. At one time, last semester, we have students from 4 states, from California, from Arizona, and from North Texas, if you call it another state. Michigan too, from Michigan. And now we have another student from Illinois complete a program entirely on the web. We use a Second Life as an interface to deliver education. So this is one of the kind in the nation, and we're hoping the program grow bigger and better. Okay. Next up, we have Dr. Adol Esquivel, who's our recent graduate, and his career has been skyrocketing, climbing astronomical rise, now working as a assistant VP for St. Luke's system. Please join me in welcome him to give us talk.